Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. Today is day 378 of my What's She Up To Now? Detailing out every day I pop on and I talk about what am I doing as I transition from the offline brick and mortar world to the online world of business and commerce and making a living when I want, where I want, with whomever I want, wearing whatever I want, which is generally my pajamas. And it's on purpose. It's intentional. And it's for a lot of reasons that you may or may not know. If you're curious, ask in the questions below. And I would be glad to have a little chat with you and explain why I do what I do. And mostly it's because it's who I am. And I need to be comfortable in certain physical aspects of my being that help me to function and do a better job in the other aspects of my life. So today I am working on this Women's Summit. I set a goal for myself late last year that I was going to do a women's summit, a woman business owner summit. And I was going to do it in January. Well, it was the last week of January this week. So I launched it and I did it as a soft launch Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then yesterday I made a special offer at the end of it, which now that I've done that and soft launched it, I created a follow-up list, a to-do list to actually launch it on the 19th, 20th, and 21st, and then 22nd of February. And then the 23rd, 24th, on the 25th, we'll start the special offer. So what do I need to do to follow up with that? I got a rough draft of it done. It's like if you write a paper for school, you do a rough draft, and then you know when you're writing the rough draft that you're going to go in, you're going to fix and tweak and test and make it better, right? Of course, we don't just expect that we're going to put something up once and it's going to be awesome. I've already tweaked the front page, the lead magnet first page of the funnel, probably 5 or 6 times because it isn't performing the way I want it to. And so I will continue to tweak and fix and make things better. But I've got this brainstorm list of all the things I still have to do for this project that I haven't even done yet it's up and running and I'm taking action and moving toward and running toward getting this done because I want to spend the next 3 weeks promoting this summit so that it can get out in the hands of the people that need it and want it and will really benefit from this information. So this weekend, I have to listen to the videos and create summary notes from each video and then an action item checklist, things that women can do from each of the speakers, actionable items, things that they can do right away. The gold nuggets, I want to make sure that there's key pieces that each of the speakers have shared because otherwise you can listen to a video or an interview and you might totally miss it. And I want to make sure that some of those highlights are pulled out and that you know that there's actionable items, things that you can do to help to grow and supersize your business all around the topic of customers from each and every one of the speakers that are in the summit. Then I've got to prep the interview questions for the book and the PDF. I sent out as an optional practice and to kind of give people a heads up, here's what we're going to be talking about on the interviews, all of the questions around customers that I might ask. Now, depending on how long they've been in business, some questions aren't really appropriate. If somebody's been in business just 6 months, and I've got a couple women, I think that were really short-term business owners. They've just come out of corporate America or struck out on their own. And then I've got women that have been in business for decades. So women that have business for decades have a lot to talk about customers and their experience with customers. Women that are new to business are more in the mode of, well, this is how I find and attract the people I want to work with. And these are the customer experiences I've had so far. Here's what's worked. Here's what hasn't, yada, yada, yada. But I asked everybody all of the questions so that if they wanted to answer in writing, they could give more in-depth answers to a wider array of the questions than what we might just focus on during their interview. And about half the women participated in that. And so I want to turn those answers into some kind of a document, a written document. I want to eventually make them into a book. But for right now, time is of the essence and very short. So I'm just going to format them into a PDF, a downloadable PDF available for the Summit All Access Pass participants. Then I've got to do the waiting list page today. So the page in the summit, because I've got, and secretly, I've got the live summit for all 3 days up right now online, and it'll be up until I get this waiting list page created. Then I'm going to make a waiting list opt-in page, and that's whenever anybody goes to the website, which is another thing that has to go on the list. I have to create custom, shorter URLs. I've got terrible, I can't even remember the URL. People ask me for it and I have to go find it and copy and paste it and send it to them. So I have to add that to my list, create shorter URLs. But I have to create the waiting list page so that I can take down the live part, and then anybody that is interested in the Women's Summit that we promote to can sign up for the waiting list. And then when it launches on the 19th, they'll immediately get access to the free content. Day 1, then day 2, then day 3. Now, following up with that, I got to create the email sequences for this project because I did not do that yet. On the soft launch, all I did was get the main guts of the launch and the event put together and put up to test. I have not created a single email yet, except the ones that are auto-created by the software I use, the funnel that I use to respond to people when they purchase the All Access Pass. So I have got to create an email sequence for launching the product, the summit itself, for pre-launching the event, for onboarding and orienting people as they join the summit. And then I probably need a couple of I think the wait list could be for the pre-launch of the event. So people from the waiting list will go immediately to the pre-launch of the event sequence. So I'm writing at least 3 sequences of emails, and probably 4 because I'm making a special offer. So I'm going to need the special offer onboarding sequence as well. And then after that, I have to deliver then there'll be another, I think I'm going to set it up as email and as a membership site. I don't know. I'm going to put set up email deliverable ? And I probably will because I like to deliver my content with an email reminder, even if people don't check email. And then I should probably put ? messenger bot because I don't use messenger bots for this, but I know you can deliver content through messenger bots. So that might be a good idea and a quicker, easier, faster way to reach people too. Then I have to edit the copy of the website and the funnel because I just put up copy based on my memory, which isn't ideal, which is part of why I'm listening to all of the interviews again this weekend so that I've got better things to pull out and I can make some decent headlines and decent bullet points for each of the speakers on the 3 pages for the daily listening, as well as in the membership area to let people know what it's really about, and better than what I could just based on my memory of doing interviews over the last month and a week. I guess over the last 5 weeks I've done interviews. I don't really remember 5 weeks ago exactly what we talked about as far as highlights in each of the interviews, so I need to do that. Then I have to come up with several videos. I have to come up with a welcome to the members area video. So I'll need 2 of those because I've got 2 different members areas. I'll need to redo all of the videos that I've got in the funnel right now or on the website right now. So that means the day 1, day 2, day 3, the offer, the original welcome and offer video. I have to redo those because they're not totally specific for this, but a couple of them are really long. And they don't need to be long. They just need to build curiosity, and they need to be interesting and just be the highlights. And I think number 2, like day 2, I went into way too much detail. Day 1, I don't remember. I think it was pretty short. And day 3 was super short. It's just, hey, here it is. Basically have at it. So there's got to be a balance between those. And I'll test and figure out what makes sense. I'd love some feedback on those. But what makes sense? I didn't script them. So I will admit I went into funnel scripts yesterday and I'm like, I need to go into funnel scripts and I need to come up with some scripts and some better headlines and things for certain things. So let's plug in some of my keywords and let's see what pops out. I haven't read those because I need my magnifying glass, but I did plug in the data and then I'll look at those today as part of redoing the videos, creating the copy review for the site and all of that. Then I need to also come up with a written detailed description of my offer. All I did was present it in video and really quick summary format. So I want to actually put some graphics with it, and then here's what you get, here's the value of it. Here's what you get, here's the value of it. Here's what you get, here's the value of it. Here's what you get, here's the value of it. Here's what you get, here's the value of it. Because I want it in a really good offer format. It's such an incredible offer, and I think I just glossed over it, so people are going to be like, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, it's a big deal in terms of helping the women that participate in the summit to really, really get the results they want and really results that they might not even be able to imagine, because they can get that type of results from the offer and from participating in this summit. So I want to do a better job of presenting that. And I also think, I don't remember because I haven't rewatched it. I just did it and put it up. I think the offer video is more about, hey, this is what you get. And I want it to be more about, this is what you get, but this is what it means to you. This is how you benefit by what you get. So more of what it means to you. I'm writing these things down as I think of them. And then I'm going to write, speak to Chris. Because Chris is my ideal client for this Women's Summit. So I want to be actually, when I'm talking to Chris, not just talking. Because sometimes I think when I do my videos, I speak in way too general, way too broad of terms, and it's more like I'm like lecturing, and heaven knows I'm not a lecturer. Unless you ask my kids and their friends who are in the lecture chair. I have been known to put people in the lecture chair. So I don't want to be coming off like I'm grandma in the lecture chair. I want to be coming off as, hey, this is why this is so awesome for you and what it can do for you and your business. Then I have to come up with some sort of branding, an overall branding idea and structure for the event. I need colors, I need a logo, and then like some kind of a tagline, because I want to create consistency throughout all of the summits. And now that this one is going, I can't just do it half-ass. I have to get help, and I'll probably get my daughter or some experts in branding to help me come up with that. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not the most important thing. What's most important to me is, what are you providing people with? And that's the most important thing. And that's why I've created that first. And then secondary is, well, how do we make it a little prettier? You know, I got the information from the women to create the book. Well, now how do we make the book pretty? I've got the information and the core things and the speakers' interviews up. Now, how do we describe it to make it pretty and more appealing to Chris and all of our ideal women? How do we get some branding and some consistency and some logos and some colors and a tagline that makes sense, that we can carry through from Summit 1 to Summit 2 to Summit 3 to Summit 4. So here's the overall overarching summit, Women's Summit. And then here's the specific topics that we're going to be talking about every few months. This one's all about customers. The next one's all about growing and taking your business to the next level. The one after that's all about money. The one after that's all about, you know, self-care, taking care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, all of that in Summit number 4. And there'll probably be a Summit number 5 about, you know, I don't know, teamwork, leadership, whatever the next thing is that everybody asks for and wants. It'll be what the women that are participating tell us they want. And if they don't want us to do anymore, we won't do anymore. But if they do, we absolutely will. Because I think it's an incredible format for tapping into the knowledge and wisdom of other people and shortcutting your learning curve by modeling others, by doing what works. And we just pick out what works and we do that. We don't struggle and go learn and take 20 courses on a particular thing, thinking that we need to figure out and do everything ourselves. So that's the power of this. So that is my quick to-do list, in addition to moving. And starting Monday, I'm watching my 3-year-old granddaughter full time. So I am going to dive back into the working at home mom type scenario, or in this case, working at home grandma. And I never did that. I did watch her for the first year of her life at a full-time basis, but I was running an Italian food manufacturing business. Now, I owned the business so I could make my own hours, and I set up and structured that business so that I didn't have to be there 40 hours a week working. And so if I can structure an Italian food manufacturing business like that, I can certainly structure my online business and my online endeavors like that, so that I can enjoy my amazing time with her and still serve those people that I'm here to serve. So what are you up to today? What have you got going on? If there's anything I can help you with, let me know. If you would like to know and tap into the Women's Summit before I put the waitlist page up, I'll probably keep the whole thing up until like midnight tonight, because I put a timer on there till, well, 11 p.m. Central. So 11 o'clock tonight is my goal, to have the waitlist page done and then to pull that down until the 19th of February. And what we'll do is we'll begin promoting immediately to join the waiting list to be a part of this and participate in this amazing summit. But until I get the waiting list up, it's going to be available. So you can go listen to all of the women for free. Now, I will admit, not a painful confession, but I'll admit, I did 2 interviews yesterday. I do not have them posted yet. I am doing 4 more this weekend. I'm going to be over 30 interviews. My personal goal and objective was to have 30 interviews as part of the summit. It's going to be more than that. So I'll have to decide if I'm going to put everybody on it or if I'm going to hold a couple people until one of the future summits. I've already committed to everybody that I've already done interviews for that they will be on this first summit. And I can put as many women as I want on it. It's just and I've got 3 more weeks, so I can even add some women. Another reason I'm listening to all of the interviews and the videos this weekend is because I want to see, are there any areas that I think with respect to customers, we could get somebody else to do an interview that would add more depth and more meaning and more information and more knowledge to that. We did one on Instagram, a lady that's on Instagram yesterday, and a lady that does work with people with personal branding, but she does a lot of work helping people to create their stories. I kind of am thinking if I can find a female stories expert, somebody that's all about telling stories, that would be a really powerful component to add to the summit. So there's things like that I just have an inkling that we want to talk about more. And I want to make sure that I listen and I say, okay, I've got a couple of weeks. I can go find a couple more people to pull in and have them share their area of expertise in this particular thing that I think we could do a better job beefing up. So that's part of also why I did the soft launch, so that I have the ability to improve the product even before it actually launches, so that I'm not. And with summits, it's an event. It's hard to launch it and then change it while you're doing it. It's a 3-day event. Everything's kind of set in stone. So I'm using this soft launch and this period in between to improve the product based on feedback, which it's my tricky way of doing that, and then just really launching it in the way that it should be launched. So that's what I'm working on. If I can help you in any way, shape, or form, if you know somebody that's awesome at stories and teaches people about storytelling, that I'm thinking that is one area that would be a great event. I do have one lady that I've followed for a really long time, but I've never really done anything with her. I've just watched her videos and participated in the background. I'm on her email list, but I mean, she's just somebody I follow on social media, not somebody I know or have really met yet. So I might reach out to her. But if you know somebody that would be really good, go ahead and just message me, direct message me, or put her name in the comments below, because I would love that. That's the only thing I can think of right now as I go through and listen. I'm sure other things will come up. I'd love to get somebody that's got like a women's network where they do outside networking events specifically for women, because I think that would be a great thing to share and what they've learned from that, or even an online person that's got a great network. I can think of a couple of women that have incredible groups. I already interviewed one person I love that has an incredible group. She built a group of over 100,000 women in 10 months. Amazing, amazing group. But she serves women that have pain and problems and trauma. And I would like more women that serve women that are just building their own businesses. So maybe I'll reach out to somebody that I know that does that as well. I know a couple of people that network and have networking groups, some offline, some online. So maybe I'll reach out to them and add that component, because a couple of people touched on it, but I know we didn't go in depth on that as a way to find the people that you want to work with. I mean, we did go into a lot of things, but I noticed as I'm watching, I'm like, well, here's some other methods that we could use. We've got authors, we've got speakers, we've got social media experts, we've got in different realms, podcasting experts, different media. So, blog posts. We've even got television personalities. So I think that it's a great offer, great rounded out summit, but there's always ways to improve anything and everything we do. I have a huge belief in continuous improvement. So even though I'm just still working on it and launching it and interviewing speakers, I'm going to go out and look for some little holes in it that I think that we can fill. All right, that's it. Go out, make it a fantastic day. I'll, of course, report back tomorrow with how many things on this list I actually got done today. My goal is to actually really knock out the majority of these things this weekend, because like I said, I got a 3-year-old starting on Monday. And 3 is a much more high contact, high interaction age than 0 to 1. 3 to 4 is a much more fun. It's a lot more fun age. I'm so excited because I haven't gotten to play with my inner 3 or 4-year-old for, 50, oh my gosh, I don't even want to admit it, 55 years. Oh my God, that's crazy to think about. Isn't it funny? We look in the mirror and like, who's that old lady? I don't know if you think that, or who's that old man? Who is that staring back at me? I think that pretty much every morning when I look in the mirror. And then I remind myself I am so freaking happy and grateful just to be looking in the mirror. I don't even care, right? I don't care about the wrinkles. I've earned every one of them. I don't care about the gray hairs. I've earned absolutely every one. Remember when I was younger, we'd highlight our hair so it was blonde. Now I've got gray streaks instead of blonde streaks. But that's fun. It just shows, I like to think wrinkles and gray hair shows wisdom and experience. That's my new way of framing it and looking at it. All right. Have a fantastic day. I will be with you tomorrow. Bye.